All right, this is your last chance.
The alleged mastermind of the 9/11 attacks was waterboarded 183 times.
We are willing to uphold our values and our ideals even when we are afraid and under threat, not just when it's expedient to do so.
Politics and torture. Next on Global Pulse. A comparison of how broadcasters worldwide are covering the CIA torture memos. After the Obama administration declassified CIA documents detailing torture techniques used during the Bush administration, U.S. media like Fox News, CNN, CBS, ABC, and The Daily Show tended to focus on two ideas: whether the documents should have been released and if the torture tactics worked.
Of all the decisions he's made in his young administration, the most agonizing was his decision to release these Justice Department memos from the Bush administration.
Abu Zubaydah was waterboarded. Ironically, the U.S. military has done that to thousands of our own pilots and special forces for training, but Mr. Obama decided it is too harsh for terrorist leaders.
We are America. We do not torture.
Some senators, including John McCain, said the president should be looking forward to solutions, not backward to recrimination.
But they didn't put out the memos that show the success of the effort, what we gained as a result of this activity.
Some Republicans tonight say the Obama administration is behaving like the leadership of a banana republic, as they
America is less safe because of the release of these memos.
Everyone's not upset about the fact that we torture. They're upset about the fact that we now know about it.
All of these techniques have now been ruined.
Oh, great! Ruined!
Internationally, the coverage was less about politics and the efficacy of the tactics, and more on the horror of torture and who is to blame. France's TV5 focused on the outrageous details of the memos.
A memo from 2002 acknowledged the possibility of imminent death for the subject, but denies it is an act of torture. Waterboarding is described in 2005 as not physically painful.
Iran's Press TV flat out accused President Bush of lying, while also presenting another country's interest in prosecuting members of his administration.
Forced by court order, the release of the memos only serves to prove what the world already knew, that this was a lie.
This government does not torture people.
In Spain, High Court Judge Baltasar Garzón is considering whether to launch a criminal investigation into 6 former Bush administration officials over torture. Despite pressure from Washington and the Spanish Attorney General's recommendation against a probe, Garzón might just go ahead with it.
TV Chile's coverage is influenced by its recent history of torture against its own people.
The United States is now in a debate that Chile is still confronting. Look back and prosecute the violations against human rights, or ignore them. The United Nations has pointed out that not prosecuting the originators of these torture practices violates the Convention Against Torture and is illegal. Immunity is not possible for a country that obliges other countries to abide by human rights, and it would be a moral violation as strong as these images.
Al Jazeera connected the dots between the torture tactics and the Iraq War.
As Bush prepared to make the case for invading Iraq, top officials demanded interrogators at Guantanamo supply evidence in support of their preconceived belief about a connection between Saddam Hussein and al-Qaeda. The more frustrated people got in not being able to establish this link, there was more and more pressure to resort to measures that might produce more immediate results.
While the Obama administration tries to clean up America's image and eliminate torture, according to one Guantanamo inmate, the abuse continues.
Al Jazeera has obtained a letter from a current prisoner in which he describes his situation there this year. He claims abuse is continuing under the Obama administration. Oppression has increased, torture has increased, and insults have increased. I have seen death so many times. He goes on to say, America, what has happened to you?
For Global Pulse, this is Erin Coker.